All right. So first off, happy to have you here. For those that don't know you, though, who are you and what's your community about?
Appreciate it. My name's Earnie Williams, Earnie Williams here in Austin, Texas. And my community name is Ambitious Athletes.
Okay.
And what I'm doing is helping athletes transition from sports to life after sports. And life after sports is getting into a business, creating your own business, and you chasing your passion, chasing your dream, and monetizing that.
Dang. So what's like the driver behind something like this? Because out of like all of the communities, you always hear like everything's different, but they're just very unique, and it sounds like it's kind of close to heart. Like, how did this come about?
Yeah, very close to heart. This is a pain point for me in my career playing basketball overseas for 8 years. And also a lot of athletes go through this. So I played 8 years of basketball, and I didn't prepare one bit to retire. I didn't understand financial literacy. I didn't have anything built up, savings and all that. I didn't have understanding of how to build a business, and that I should and I could. And so that that put me in a position to retire and have to kind of start from scratch. And when you start from scratch, man, like you also have to you have to give yourself time to go through a grievance of getting out of the game. And I had to leave because of an injury. It wasn't like, oh, I'm sick of playing basketball and dunking on
It was abrupt.
It was,
Out the woods, you had to throw that in there.
it was abrupt and it hurt. And so, athletes go through that. So there's the depression. There is the identity piece of like, oh, I'm not an athlete. Like, who am I?
Yeah.
And I feel like if people would have told me and helped me out to understand, hey, work on your skills and talents and gifts, develop those while you're playing basketball overseas so that when it comes time to move into something else, you don't have this gap of depression and wondering who the heck you are because you already know.
And I'm sure that makes it worse, like, because it's like, especially if it's like a injury and like it is abrupt, like, because you can't just like, it's a mindset to like go out there and build it. Like business is already hard, and then couple that with like you thought you were doing one thing for however long, and then now it's like you got to figure out how to build a business or like even what you're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
So what inspired you to start this for other people? Just was it going through that personal experience yourself and you're like, it sucks, or like did you see other people struggling with this too?
That was the main thing. It sucked on so many levels, and also having that drive of an athlete, like what's next, and I wanted to have impact. I wanted to make a lot of impact with people. And so, yes, there are a lot of athletes going through this. And I've been retired. I played 8 years of ball and overseas, but I've been retired for about 6 or 7.
Oh, wow.
And even though NIL is still is available for these college students, that NIL realistically is 1 to 2% of the top players in Division. Like there are D2 and D3 athletes making money, but most athletes aren't making the big bank type of contracts.
Gosh, there's big stuff here and there. Like
big stuff here and there, and some of them are doing pretty well, but it's the brand deals are going to end when school is over.
Do athletes think about that? Because like, I don't know about, I'm not the long-term guy. I'm like in today, like, so I don't even think about that type of stuff. Like, are there a lot of athletes that are so consumed with the sport and training and everything like that they're not even thinking about this? Or is that a thought that's playing in your mind, like when you're playing? Like, do teams teach you this stuff? Do colleges teach you this stuff?
Yeah, I think it's both. I think there are athletes that they know they have better and bigger leverage, so they're definitely thinking about the money. And there's more people around them because they see it, right? Financial experts and people want to help those athletes that can make a lot of money, obviously, so they can make some money. But I think, yeah, there are systems in college where they have financial literacy.
Okay.
But still, what you're there to do at college is play and win.
So you're focused on that, not...
You really are.
Like, it's there, but most people aren't taking it.
Yeah, you're focused on your schooling and supports and doing what you're supposed to do for the team.
Yeah.
Like, all these brand deals are cool at the end of the day, but if you're not helping us win like we thought you would and we recruited you to do...
It's just a lot of pressure.
It is.
Okay, I didn't even think about that. So, like, I didn't ever play, like, collegiate ball or anything like that, but you don't think about all this stuff. It's like, just play sports. I think most people's mentality, a lot, are, go to college, play sports, hopefully go pro, and then they only see that career pro-wise, but, like, you don't think about the business side on the back end of things or, like, what you're going to do after ball is over. So, like, what's like, some, like, strategies or stuff that you kind of help people figure out? Like, somebody comes say I'm an pro athlete, I come to you and I'm like, dude, I'm lost. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. If it's not ball, I don't know what it is. Like, what are the types of things you're like directing me toward?
Yeah, so kind of the same as like when I would train a basketball player, what are the 1 to 3 things that you are just great at? And, any team you play on, that's what you're going to do, right? I want to help them find what gifts, what talents do you have, and how can we transition that into a business for you? Or how can you make money? Like, what are the business models for your skills and your talents that we can make money?
Oops.
I think that's like the easiest way. The easiest way for maybe it's their first business, okay, to just use what you are good at right now. We can uncover the bigger gifts that you actually have, but you don't know what they are. We can uncover those, but you gotta use what you have now. I think I really wish somebody would have told me.
Yeah, no, that's something like, again, you probably don't think about, and it's there are all these like hidden things, and then also I'm sure there's all kinds of distractions that people are like facing as well. Like, but coming to you and like you helping massage that into like an actual business plan, like that's huge.
Mm-hmm.
You're the first person I've ever heard. Obviously, I don't come from a sports background, but you're the first person I've ever heard like thinking like that. And I think that's really cool. Mm. What are the things that you've seen out there that are like good avenues for people to go down, like once they get out of pro ball?
Yeah, I think the easiest thing people can do, athletes can do, is teach what they know, okay, and teach what they have been doing, which is their sport. So it's the technical aspect of physical kind of training of their sport, but then also the mental aspect. So you can do both, or you can do one or the other. I was just talking to a Olympic swimmer. He's a coach, and he was telling me that one of the things he thinks athletes should do for a business is the mental side, helping, but targeting parents.
Oh, that's good there. Because especially like to play at that level, like it is a big mindset. Like it's not your average mindset. Like that's a pretty big thing. What are some things like that most people don't think about, or big missteps that a lot of like athletes take, like trying to transition? Because I'm sure you see that too, like on the backside, you're trying to help some people avoid some stuff. What are those things that they're falling into?
Yeah, I did this too, but it's like chasing money.
Okay.
Chasing the job or some type of thing that is gonna make you a lot of money, but you don't like it because maybe you're not that good at it, or you just don't enjoy it.
Yeah. And
like it's a huge thing, because when you go from playing college for 4 or 5 years, however long you're there, and or professionally, you legit love, or you like at a high level, the sport you've been doing. So to do that from 4 to 8 years, and then go into something that is like just so opposite, and then it's just a paycheck. People don't understand teamwork. There's no structure. Like to go into settings like that, it's like, I can do something on my own. I'm gonna quit. Done it. But it's like, you need money, so you can't quit.
No, like, sorry, it's cool like to hear like this, because I've never even thought like that. But yeah, going from such a team environment, like everybody plays their role and everybody's like pulling the cart forward together.
Absolutely.
To going somewhere else that is just a paycheck, and sometimes you get lucky and get those team environments, but most times you don't. And it's like, and especially having somebody with such a competitive mindset, you might even be the outcast when you go into these places. Like,
yeah,
that's crazy.
And the one thing I wanted to add is like, we all are used to having coaches that want the best for us.
Yeah. And
they're our bosses, basically.
Yeah.
And so when you go into corporate or some environment where it doesn't feel like they are coaching you, or teaching you what to do in the environment that they need you to, it's hard, because it's like, it's hard to explain because it's a different mindset. Like,
so
we know the structure of what we need to do, and we're getting that from coaches. And so we have our strength conditioning coach. We have our coach that's going to help us with the injuries. We have the coach that's the defensive coach, the offensive coach.
Yeah, and it's almost like a do this because this is how you get better at it. But you go to a work environment, it's like do this because I said so, and it's a very different environment. So
where's the playbook? Like, okay,
it's non-existent. No, it's not
playbook. I'm like, how you want me to get you points and I don't know what we're doing?
Oh my gosh, sorry. It's so cool to like think about it in those terms, because I never would have, like, if I didn't talk to you about this. So the biggest question is like, where can people find you to like learn about this more? Because like you have a killer community, you know what you're doing. Like, how do people find you?
Yeah, so if you go to school, my community is called Ambitious Athletes. And then on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, Coach Earnie W. So COACH, Coach Earnie, EARNIEW.
Okay. Easy peasy. And then I got one more question for us.
Let's do it.
So you're at the school ATX IRL event number 2. You came to the last one. What would you say to anybody thinking about coming to these events that hasn't made it out, or like, it's like, I don't know if it's going to be cool or not?
Yeah, you need to make these events. Unfortunately, but I had to cancel a date with my partner. I was like, babe, I gotta go to this event. I'm so sorry. Cook for you, whatever you want me to do. I literally got my ticket last week, and I was like, I cannot list. So you guys dropped so many gems with you speaking, and then people coming to it, and everybody that's trying to learn something. It's a real community where if somebody has an issue, everybody is trying to think about, man, how can that person get past this issue? So if you have questions about your business, you're going to get them answered, or you're going to get ideas for you to go home and test for at least a month until we have our next meeting.
So long story short, you better make it out here. Cancel dates. Let's to come out here.
I'm almost lost my little relation on.
I'm so sorry. Next one, we'll do like a speed dating thing.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Get you back on the horse. All right, just kidding. All right, well, I appreciate you coming by. It was really cool to learn about your community, and also, I think you're going to help a lot of people, because, like,
Appreciate it.
Those are things I've never thought of, and I'm sure a lot of people that come from your world as well, like, aren't thinking about this until it's time to think about it, and they got a lot more going on than that.
Yeah. Thank you so much. This is great.
Yeah, thank you.